One Piece and Naruto's saddest episodes share one heartbreaking similarity. Naruto and One Piece are indisputably two of the most influential shonen franchises of the last 2 decades, and for good reason. Their popularity is well earned, and even years later, it's possible to look back at the two series and find new things to appreciate. Besides being packed with top-tier combat, both One Piece and Naruto are also known for being incredibly well-rounded. Both series have their emotional beats that hit harder than a truck, whether that's Ace's death in One Piece or Naruto's birth story. That said, One Piece recently dropped its saddest episode to date, and it has one surprising thing in common with Naruto's own saddest episode. One Piece's Egghead arc has the series' biggest tear-jerker. For the longest time, Ace's death at Marineford was unanimously considered the most heartbreaking moment in One Piece. While the series featured many more character deaths since, none had come close to being as impactful as Ace's, that is, until the Egghead arc came along with Bartholomew Kuma's backstory. The entirety of Kuma's tragic past hits fans harder than a truck in an isekai, especially since it catches fans completely by surprise. From being hunted and enslaved due to his race to losing his parents, Ginny, and eventually even being separated from Bonnie, Kuma's backstory is one tragedy after another. That said, its crowning moment is when Kuma chooses to sacrifice himself for Bonnie's sake, even letting go of his humanity, memories, and consciousness in exchange for ensuring Bonnie is cured and lives past the age of 10. Episode number 1136 of One Piece, titled Kuma's Life, is where this backstory reaches its climax with this very moment, and after sitting through a beautiful montage of Kuma's memories, both the beautiful and the ugly, Kuma, in his final conscious moments, leaves Bonnie one final message through Vegapunk, wishing her a happy 10th birthday that he will never get to witness himself. Naruto's true saddest episode is often overlooked. When it comes to Naruto, there are many incredibly sad episodes to choose from. A few good examples include episode number 249, Thank You, which reveals Minato and Kushina's final joint sacrifice and tragic deaths, or episode number 82, Team 10, which sees Shikamaru grapple with Asuma's death. That said, Naruto's true saddest episode often flies under the radar. Coming in at the very end of the series, episode number 474 of Naruto Shippuden, is easily the biggest tear-jerker of the series. For the most part, the episode sees the conclusion of the big battle against Kaguya and Black Zetsu, though it also contains many goodbyes, such as Kakashi and Obito, Hashirama, and Madara. Having said that, the saddest goodbye of all is no doubt between Naruto and Minato. As the sun rises and the Edo Tensei Jutsu begins to come undone, Naruto is forced to bid farewell to Minato yet again and is given barely a few minutes to catch him up on his entire life so far. And, as Naruto gradually breaks down, so do viewers themselves, with the final jab in the chest being Minato wishing Naruto a happy birthday before disappearing. Naruto and One Piece's saddest episodes have the same essence. Side by side, it's easy to spot the similarities between episode 1136 of One Piece and episode number 474 of Naruto. Both episodes feature a tearful farewell between a parent and child, and the parent wishing the child a happy birthday, even if it is by proxy in Kuma's case. Episode number 1136 also sees Vegapunk's professional facade break down at the end as he bursts into tears before pulling the lever, much like Naruto struggles to hold in his tears during his final goodbyes to Minato. Both Minato and Kuma's stories are marked by tragedy, sacrifice for the sake of their children, and, of course, unconditional love. This is precisely what makes these two episodes so impactful, and much like Vegapunk and Naruto, both episodes unfailingly break viewers down. In One Piece's case, it is admittedly a bit more impressive that the series was able to evoke such a strong response with minor characters such as Kuma and Bonnie, who have spent most of the series in the background until the Egghead arc. Even so, the series manages to cultivate the bond between the two fairly quickly and effectively through Kuma's flashback. Granted, Naruto also only properly introduces Minato and Kushina about halfway into Shippuden, and despite limited screen time, both of Naruto's parents, particularly Minato, nearly steal the entire show. Despite Naruto never having properly met his parents, much like One Piece, Naruto also manages to nurture the wholesome, bittersweet relationship between them really well, and just in time for the tearful goodbye at the end of the series. All in all, both Naruto and One Piece are exceptionally well-written stories, and these episodes are proof of just that. The two franchises have been considered peers for nearly 2 decades, and when you set the constant comparisons and competition aside, there's truly plenty to admire about both.
Thanks for watching, and suggest any ideas for future projects. Support the channel with some of my epic merch through my Bonfire store, new designs coming soon, and the material is strong and soft, I can confirm that personally. Or buy me a pizza, links in description. Be sure to live and subscribe, aiming for 1000 subs.